From out of the comic books and into the movies, the Caped Crusader opens his newest adventure in Batman, one of 4 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is the eagerly awaited Batman, and although it's far from perfect, it's the first summer spectacular that I've really enjoyed. I think that has to do with it not being a sequel, and also that there's some true originality in the film's art design, sound, and performances. As been reported, this is a darker Batman, not at all like the campy 60s TV show. Jack Nicholson stars as criminal Jack Napier, here out to rob a chemical factory with the police and Batman, Michael Keaton, in pursuit.
Gene! Let him go! Or I'll do Gordon!
Nice outfit.
Jack Napier turns into the twisted character of the Joker after Batman throws him into a vat of acid, scarring his face. Thus, natural enemies are born.
Wing freak. Terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Out of uniform, Batman, of course, is millionaire Bruce Wayne, who draws the attention of photographer Vicki Vale, played by Kim Basinger. She's tipsy at the end of their first date.
I feel a little drunk. And you're not anything.
Hey, one drink and I'm flying.
Why are you afraid of flying?
The 3 main players are brought together when the Joker tries to disfigure Vicki Vale with acid as part of his crime wave.
Boo.
Hold on.
The film plays down Batman's paraphernalia, save for the last act, a confrontation between Batman and Joker in the street and sky above Gotham City. The Batwing plane looks like a little model there. So does the Batmobile in some shots. Director Tim Burton obviously wants to recall the original comic book look as well as tell a more adult kind of story. And that adult approach is what I found so refreshing about this Batman movie. We have so many films these days that are being made for the teenage audience. Films that look like overblown TV shows. Here's a picture with adult stars, troubled characters, and a dark look. It's a shame that that approach has to be considered a risk these days, but I'm certainly glad the approach was taken. I enjoyed this Batman.
You said you enjoyed it more than any of the other entertainment pictures this summer. I certainly didn't think it was as much fun as the Indiana Jones film.
More for me.
And
I've been through that one before.
As I looked at it, the thing that struck me most of all was the art direction. Gotham City in this movie is one of the original places in the movies. I thought it was very well done. It reminded me of places like Metropolis in the movie by Fritz Lang, or the futuristic Los Angeles in the movie Blade Runner by Ridley Scott. So I thought that the art direction was sensational. I thought the special effects were good. I thought those buildings looked like they went up 1.5 miles into the sky. I thought the dark film noir look of the film was very nice, but I didn't care about anything that happened in the movie. I never really found that these characters became people that I could get involved with. I felt that Nicholson, as the Joker, went on way too long. He was on too often. He was doing the same thing over and over. I found the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Vicki Vale didn't work at all, Kim Basinger and Michael Keaton. In fact, when she's in the Batcave and she sees for the first time that Bruce Wayne is in fact Batman, do you remember what her reaction was? She had no reaction.
I think
they left the reaction out of the film. They didn't even care that she was surprised.
No, she knew, and I think there are indications throughout the picture that these people know who they are in other lives, in other alter egos kind of situations.
Well, I don't
It's very
know,
true
listen,
between Batman and Jack Napier at the beginning of the film. When they give each other knowing looks, they're setting up a battle for the future.
Well, Gene, the thing, whether she knew who he was or not, is part of the suspension. In these movies, all of these movies, the superhero wears a mask that covers the top half of his face. It's like RoboCop.
Right.
Well, anyone can see that it's Michael Keaton,
Right.
but the whole deal in the movie is that you're not supposed to notice that until the person takes off the mask and
But
you say, "Oh my God, it's Bruce Wayne."
All right, but
so she didn't know.
That isn't the whole business of the picture. I thought that the Bruce Wayne character was a fascinating guy. Rather than playing this as a strong man, I thought it was interesting to show this guy as sort of conflicted and nervous about it, and that's why he goes into this big pose.
Well, that's a modern touch that I wasn't surprised about. I'll tell you this much about the film. It's a not only a dark film, which you're right about, a film noir, but also there's a great deal of hostility and anger in this film. There's a great deal of bad feeling in it. And it's not a film for children. You call it an adult film. Another way to put it is it's not for kids. It's an extremely disturbing film.
Don't you find that? Well, wait a minute. Well, aren't you glad to be disturbed? And you know how I mean that.
I would have been glad to be disturbed by a film that made me care, that was able to get to not only use its special effects, but to encompass and surpass the special effects with a story. Because the one thing Spielberg knows in his special effects pictures is you've got to have strong characters and a strong story, or the special effects simply become something nice to look at.
Well, I felt that I had entered a complete world, a psychological world, and a visual world. I bought it. The ending runs on too long. That I agree with you in story construction. It's that problem of the third act that a lot of action pictures have.
Well, I admire, as we can agree on one thing, we admire the look of the picture. Yeah. We just don't know if we agree on whether it works or not.
We don't agree.
We don't agree.